Hey guys, how's it going? This is Shuriel, and you're watching Modest Millennial, where we talk about all things money that they don't teach you in school. Guys, I turned 30 about a year and a half ago now, and looking back on my years between the age of 20 and 30, it just seems like it was only a few months ago that I was going to college and eating unhealthy food and staying up late and doing all sorts of things that 20 somethings usually do. My 20s flew by very quickly, and in some ways, they were definitely very transformative. My early 20s gave me a chance to move all the way to United States to study more and follow my passion. Although I studied hard and landed a great job at 23, I never felt like I knew too much about money to be able to handle efficiently what was coming into my bank account each week. So, guys, I basically did what every curious, unaware 20 something would usually do. I bought fancy cars, I wore fancy clothes, I ate expensive food, and I blew away all my money each week every possible way I could until one day, 4 years later, I realized I had nothing to show for the amount of work I had done in the past few years. This is when I really panicked, guys, and started hastily learning about how I could save the money that was coming in each week and invest it so one day I could live stress free. In the end, guys, everything worked out for the better, and I'm sitting here today chatting with you guys, trying to pass on some of what I learned from this experience. In this video, guys, I want to talk about things I wish I knew when I first started my job at the age of 23, and what ideas would have helped give a kickstart to my investing journey a few years sooner than they actually did. For anyone in your 20s beginning to wonder what you can start doing today, here is everything I have learned in the past few years that has set me on a path to a better future. I am not kidding, guys, but this is really one of those videos that I wish I had found as a 20-year-old who was spending countless number of hours each day browsing through YouTube. If I had access to some of this information that I'm about to present to you guys today, about 8 years ago, I would have been way ahead than I am today in my investing journey. So guys, all I ask of you is you please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel down below. It is absolutely free to do, guys, but the information you get from this channel is absolutely invaluable. Without further ado, guys, let's start jumping into some of these life lessons I learned in the past few years and see how they can impact how far along you can get by understanding and implementing some of these ideas in your life. The first lesson, guys, is to avoid student loan debt at all costs. Guys, one of the biggest debt burden that people in the age range of 18 to 30 carry around has to do with going to college. Now, don't get me wrong here. There's nothing wrong with going to college and getting good education. Quality education goes a long way and can help you achieve a well-paying position in your job in the future that can make you significant amount of money. In the United States, guys, the average student loan debt each 20-something carries around is roughly $30,000. This is a significant amount of money to have to pay back in your early 20s. Now, the way you can tackle these is by going to college a little bit later instead of following the deadbeat path of finishing high school and going to college right away. What you could do is start by getting a mediocre job that pays you 20 to 30 grand a year and stay with your parents. As long as you have a good relationship with them, they will happily let you occupy a corner in their basement. Stay with them for a while and save up all the money you can and start looking into going to college after that. For the college too, unless you have a career path chalked out for yourself where you know that going to a certain college is absolutely going to help you achieve that career path in your life, do not fuss about going into an expensive college. You can get quality education at cheaper costs too, and by doing so, you can either have very little to no loan debt at all. Student loan debt total has grown up to $1.7 trillion in the United States. I don't even know how many zeros a trillion dollars has. It's definitely a crisis that you don't want to be a part of. A lot of employers also offer college tuition fees, so if you have that benefit, look into it so you can complete your degree while you stay employed. The second lesson I learned is to stay modest. One of the best things you can learn about money in your early 20s is to save and invest it rather than spend it. Look around you, guys. The world is set up to stimulate you to spend your money on things you absolutely don't need but want, and this is what makes profit for most companies. Absolutely, you want the new iPhone because it's advertised in a way that captures your want to have the next best thing always. But guess what? Next year, you will want to own the next new iPhone, and the year after that, you will want to own the even newer iPhone. Throwing away your money at things you want but don't necessarily need is a great way of inefficiently managing your money and reducing the likelihood of becoming wealthy. Remember, guys, for people like you and I, getting rich takes time and a lot of work from our end, and staying modest is a foundation to building these fundamentals towards getting rich over time. As much as possible, guys, spend your money only on absolute essentials such as food and housing, and save the rest of your money so that your future self doesn't have to work as hard as you are working today. The phone companies advertise the phone for, say, $30 a month, which sounds nothing, right, if you're earning a decent income. But if you calculate that for 3 years, it will sum up $2,000. And after 3 years, they will again talk you into buying another new phone, which will never end. We never really think of these smaller expenses, but these expenses are the ones that will always keep you poor. The third lesson I learned is to practice self-discipline. Let's get uncomfortable now, guys, so that our future selves can live comfortably in about 20 years worth of time. Getting rich requires self-discipline, and the more you practice self-discipline, the more you are setting yourself up on the path to success. I know it is difficult to become disciplined, but it is important that you practice these things so as to set yourself apart from the herd. Guys, wake up early each day, get a workout in, work hard for the rest of the day, cook and eat at home as much as you can and as often as you can. All of these things will fill a sense of responsibility in you towards your future self and help you grow faster so that you can lower the amount of work you have to put in each day until one day in the future when you have reached your goals and you can happily retire. Also, guys, when you are investing money, you are doing so to get rich in 20 to 30 years time, not tomorrow. So make sure you eat healthy and stay healthy so that in 20 years, when you have all this money to use, your health is still in sync with your body and doesn't hold you back from doing the things that you absolutely love to do. The fourth and final lesson I learned is to hustle. You know, guys, you are who you are as a person. I cannot ask you to get any smarter or get more talented easily. These are not tangible things to ask someone to do. One thing I can ask you to do, though, is to get hustling, as this is the only way you can make optimum use of your time in your early years and sit back and relax in your later years. Put in that 2 to 3 extra hours of work each day now so that in 10 years you have to work much less towards your goals. Life is a race, but your approach towards life needs to have a sprint attitude where you are hustle in your early years and then comfortably and peacefully reaping the benefits of your hustle in your older years. Now, I know most things are easier said than done, guys. So here are some things you can do to hustle in your early years to achieve your goals. First of all, guys, and I try to say this in all of my videos, try to have some tangible goals for 5, 10, 15 years down the road so that you can give yourself a sense of responsibility towards your future self. After that, start small. If you have enough amount of work to do and if your workplace permits overtime hours, that is a great way to bring in a few extra $100 in each month. If your workplace doesn't allow that, remember, guys, after 5 p.m. each day, you own all of your time until 8 a.m. next morning. That is 15 hours until you have to go back to work again. Say you sleep 6 to 8 out of those 15 hours. That still leaves you with about 8 hours to do anything outside of your regular job. You need to use this time wisely and make most of it. You could start by doing a part-time gig to get an extra few $100s in each month, or start learning about setting up an online business or an online dropshipping store. Start building an equity in your brand today and let today be the worst condition you are in for the rest of your life, and improve upon this condition bit by bit each waking day. Remember, guys, an extra few $100s contributed towards your retirement each month can drastically reduce your retirement age. It might even be possible for you to retire in your early 30s or even in your early 40s if you start soon enough and practice self-discipline. So guys, in summary, stay out of debt, stay modest, invest in yourself by practicing self-discipline, and hustle in your early years so that your older self can live comfortably. And all you need to do is hit the like button, guys, because all these things that I talked to you about in the last few minutes has taken me years worth of practicing and figuring out, and I'm just passing down my wisdom to you to help you grow as soon as possible and as much as possible, so that one day you can look back at your 20-year-old self and thank them for the effort they put in. It's never too late to start, guys. Remember, it can only get better from the point you realize this and start working towards a better tomorrow. So hit the like button, guys, and subscribe to my channel below for more personal finance content next week. And don't forget to share this content with your friends, and let me know in the comments below how you plan on implementing some of these principles that we talked about today. Until next time, guys, see ya.